Today is the 11th of April 2022. Officially, I do the videos to give information outside the Bahamas because it seems like the Bahamian Authority don't know what's going on or they just don't care. They ought to know. We had two members of parliament that were there, and the FNM, they didn't care. We got two members of parliament now. I can't say anything bad about John Pinder. He's aggressive. I am impressed by him. I am proud of him trying his best. But he needs Kirk Cornish to catch up, to know what's going on with his people, and to speak like I do. Of course, they can't do like I do, but at least they could be aware. 3-4 years ago, Boat Harbor took me before the courts where you're supposed to get right, and they barred me off the property for 1 year. I am a professional, a constant professional. And in court, I asked them in court, what did I do wrong? Two white fellas, Andrew Sweeten and a white Indian, whatever manager they had. And you know what my crime was? The courts find me guilty and bar me out of Boat Harbor for 1 year because Andrew Sweeting and the manager was afraid of me. But they were afraid of me, but I never spoke to them one day. I never had a fight or argument at the bar. The security never was called for me. But all of the taxi drivers saw them bar me out of Boat Harbor for 1 year. That's half of my salary went for 1 year. But now, 2 years later, or the last 2 years, Boat Harbor has barred all taxis out of Boat Harbor. But for me, I couldn't even go in there. But now they set their own rules. You cannot wait in Boat Harbor for a job. You got to wait outside the gate on the road. If you go into Boat Harbor, you got to get your job right away. They don't want to see you on the property. If your guest is 10 minutes late, Boat Harbor security say, come outside the property and circle until your guest is ready. You cannot use the black drivers. That's 99% of us, all black. We cannot use the restroom for 2 years. No black drivers could use a restaurant in Boat Harbor. We're not allowed to get a drink at the bar. We're not allowed to have dinner in Boat Harbor. That's the black people, the black drivers that take the guests to Boat Harbor and bring them from Boat Harbor. I got angry today because they insisted that I get a COVID test and no driver could go into Boat Harbor gate unless they go by Money Rules. And Money Rules says you got to take the test or you have to have the shots. I don't know if that's government rule, but surely if I'm a taxi driver and I am not allowed by Manny, Alexio, and Andrew Sweden standards, you can't go into Boat Harbor to pick up a guest unless you take the test. So officially, what they're saying basically is that once you're at the airport and the guests say they're going to Boat Harbor, you're not going to go to the gate, so you might as well refuse the job at the airport because you can't give service. Service is when you treat the people well to get them on the return trip. But you can't do that. If you don't take the shot and you don't take the test, Andrews test, you cannot go in Boat Harbor. And even after you take the test, you go in Boat Harbor like I did today, and the security asks you, well, why are you still here? I say, see the fellas right there? They are on the dock. I can't rush them. I am here. That's my job. She went and asked the guests if they are going with me. That's interfering with my constitutional right. Freedom. I'm supposed to be free to associate with the guests. I'm a public service driver. I cannot use the bathroom in 2 years in Boat Harbor. I am not allowed to get a drink, to purchase a drink in Boat Harbor. I am not allowed to have a piece of cookie from the restaurant in Boat Harbor. And that is 95% of the black drivers. This is the 11th of April, 2022. I wonder if John Pinder knows what's going on. Does Kirk Cornish know what's going on? With them interfering with our constitutional right of freedom of movement, of freedom of association. Have you ever heard such a thing? When you get into the Boat Harbor, you have to get your guests immediately. If not, come on, get your black behind on the outside and circle and guess. You have to think whether they're ready, then come back in, re-enter. And if you come back there, your guest is not there, you got to come back out of the Boat Harbor. And this has been happening for 2 years. We had a huge tournament, golf tournament. A lot of people stayed in Boat Harbor. We have a fishing tournament, but we can't go and pick up our guests. We can't wait for them. If they're late, there is a problem. There is a problem in this country when the black majority is being dictated by the people that has the money. That can't be right. But they did it to me and nobody said nothing. Now all the taxi driver, all is treated like Negroes when they enter Boat Harbor. It makes you feel less of a Bahamian when everybody could walk around freely, but the security asks you to please leave. As a public service driver's license, we have rights. And the rights is that Boat Harbor is supposed to provide a safe place with a bathroom for the taxi drivers to use. But 2 years in, we're not allowed to use a bathroom in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And a fishing tournament is coming up. And people from all over the world could come in and out. But the black majority is not allowed into Boat Harbor to be free of persecution, to be free of harassment, to be free of intimidation. And asking the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, my Member of Parliament, Kirk Cornish, Member of Parliament for South and Central, where Boat Harbor is, John Pinder, to step in. I did the video already for them. They're gone. They're history. It's a new day. We want to see some new results. 6 months in, nothing has changed. The harassment continues. Kai Case, that's why I'm here.